Right, okay guys, so today is 8-Bit Micro Friday, and today we are finally going to look at a Spectrum game, and this will actually be on the Spectrum. I'm not emulating this time. As you know, I've had a few problems with the Spectrum and they're not solved. There still is a problem. Could be tape deck, could be some corrosion in the sockets for the RAM. I don't know. I'm basically trying to eliminate one thing at a time. I do have a plan. I'm thinking of maybe getting a div MMC, seeing if that works, and if it does work, then that answers the question on the tape deck. But that's another story. Anyway, the reason why we are actually playing a game on the Spectrum is that so far, out of all the games I've tried, I've only had 2 games that have actually worked on it. Number 1 would be Nifty Lifty, which is an old game. And number 2 would be this one, Xenoblast. Oh, bit of glare there. There we go. Now, this, as you can see at the bottom now, is by Chronosoft. And let's have a quick look at the tape and all that, because I love the colour of the tape on this. So we're going to take that out. Look at this lovely see-through green tape you get. Okay, the label's not massively imaginative, but there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that in a bit. And then we've got a little inlay. Again, not like Cytronic, where you get this thick cardboard laminated sort of inlay, or glossed inlay, should I say, not laminated. This is more paper, but again, when I tell you how much this cost, you'll understand. Now, this was £6. £6, which I think is a very good price, especially considering you also get a digital download for this game as well, which is an unusual thing with Chronosoft. You don't find that all the games come with this, but this one does. And I've been able to play this on other devices. I've recently been playing it on my PowerKiddy V90. And another game I picked up from there as well, because the other game I picked up will not work on the Spectrum. But again, that's another story. Right, anyway, enough jibber jabber. You come here to look at the game. So let's have a look at the game. So as you can see, guys, with Homebrew, they've clearly made some steps. I mean, look at the colours here. I mean, you know, original Spectrum games did not look this good. Now, this is just a loading screen, obviously. But when I hit space, it will go into the actual menu. And we got music as well. Let's maybe give that a bit of volume. And I believe there's some speech as well, just before you go into the game. Do like this music though. As I've mentioned earlier, this is one of the only games that's actually loading on this at the moment. There is still a problem with this. Right, let's go. Let's play a bit of this. So I had previously played this a couple of times, but I'd been playing it on the keyboard because I didn't have a joystick or an adapter that would work on this. So obviously Spectrum, when Amstrad took over, they changed things, so it made it more difficult to play using a joystick. One of the many delightful things that Amstrad did. It is a lot easier to play with a joystick, I can say that much. Not an easy game with a keyboard at all. So, very simple game, you know, but it's a top-down shooter. It's a very simple game, but very enjoyable. I like this game. So I first saw this game when Retrobait featured it on his channel. And I thought, yeah, this looks good, you know. This was one of the things that made me want to get a Spectrum. Oh, let's get the power up. That's it. So if anyone's wondering, this is a game from Chronosoft. You do get a digital download with this one as well. It's not always the case with Chronosoft. Oh, wow, I messed that up. So what you got to do is get round the boss. You can't actually kill him. So you have to be very quick and try not to hit anything. Typical, the minute I start recording, I'm hitting everything. Earlier on, I had to go on this and I didn't hit a thing. I got up there first time. Ah, oh, come on. Right, let's give it another go. Typical. I've made it to level 2 on several occasions, and the minute I start filming, I don't get it. Typical. Always the way. So you have to pick your targets well on this. You could try and kill everything on the screen, but I wouldn't advise it. You will die very quickly. Sometimes you just got to let some of them go on the other side of the screen. Oh, let's go the other way because them shots are coming down far too quick. Whoa, not going to get that. Give me power up. You'll notice that the ships are quite often easier to kill than the shots they fire. They take a lot more hits, which is interesting. Like I say, you know, it's just a good basic top-down shoot 'em up, which is, you know, I like my shoot 'em ups and I enjoy this game. It's good. It's good for what it is. I'll mention at the end about the ins and outs of how much it cost and all that. We'll concentrate more at the moment at the gameplay and getting around this boss without dying. Oh, so you've got to go round and then you've got to land on this. Right, level 2. Or area 2 as it's highlighted there. Obviously now we've got to change the colour. Nice yellow. I should note I'm playing this on my Arcade R joystick, which is brilliant on this game, I've got to be honest. Did try it on another one and it just wasn't really working for me. This is a very good joystick. Oh wow, so we've got to go round. Oh, oh my god. How am I going to get through? Ah. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh wow, it's respawned me. I didn't even see that. Because of the clash there, like you hide. I couldn't even see myself there. Wow, that's not good. Right, so it's a case of avoiding stuff at this point. This second level has already ramped up the hardness of this. God, oh, is this the boss? Wow, we got to this guy quick. How the hell am I going to get up there? Oh, this is going to be interesting. Can he do it? That is the question. Ah, and the answer is no. Oh, man, dead again. Oh, I've got to start away from the beginning again. Right, one more go. And plainly because I love this game. Yeah, there's not a lot of room to get around that boss. Like, yeah, that is very challenging. Not going to make it round there quick enough. Let's go left. Oh, just got out of the way of that because I knew I wasn't going to get that in time. So, as said on previous videos, and like I said earlier in this one, there is still a problem with this Spectrum. I'm not sure. I think it could be one of a couple of things. Oh, too busy talking, not paying attention now. So, I think that it could be either dry solder joints on the tape deck, which is a possibility, where the wires go onto the little board, or it could be oh, hang on, I'm concentrating, I'm losing my train of thought. Or it could be maybe some oxidization, should I say, in the sockets for the RAM, because I'm wondering if the RAM is working all the time. This is what I think is happening here, but it's basically a process of elimination, really. But what I am thinking of doing to try and find out if it's the tape deck in particular is picking up a div MMC and seeing if I still have the same problems. Because if I don't, then that kind of answers the question. So, whoa, I had nowhere to go there. Where are we? There we are. Let's avoid all these. Oh, power up there. Let's see if I can get that. Can't get that one, it's too close to the edge. Oh man, one more life, so I've got one try at this. Alright, slowly wins the war, but not too slow. Damn, because this is a problem. You need to go slower to be careful, but that boss moves far too fast for you to do that. So anyway, that is Xenoblast, back with final thoughts. Right guys, so what did you think of that? I mean, personally, I love this game. And as I've already pointed out in the gameplay part, one of the reasons why I picked up this game was because I saw Retrobait play this some time ago. This was one of the reasons why I wanted to get a Spectrum, because I could see games that I'd missed out on. And this was being one of them. Now, obviously where it's a homebrew, these games are slightly more detailed, and also I'd say the gameplay is more sort of nailed on. But that's because there's been so much time past now, these programmers now know the limits of what they can do with these things. And I would say that they got it bang on with this game. Now, okay, you could say there's not loads of imaginative graphics and colours, but it's Spectrum. And for a Spectrum, I think it looks really good. Not so much colour clash like we would have got with the earlier games. I think they just got this right. And in terms of gameplay, it's spot on. It's very responsive. When I used the joystick, because I had originally played it on a keyboard, which wasn't quite so easy, but then I picked up a joystick port or adapter port, and I was able to use my Arcade R joystick. And I can tell you, playing with that, it was perfect. Now, you'll notice on the gameplay, and you would have heard me say it, that I'd played this game several times, got to level 2, no problem. And then the minute the camera was rolling, I died on my first go. But as you can see, and then it goes after that, I managed to get to level 2. But it's a good game. You learn the patterns as you go along. You start to work out where things are coming from, where they're going. And before you know it, you're progressing. And I'm already progressing. I got to end of level 2 this time. That was the furthest I'd got so far. Wasn't so easy to try and get that far with the keyboard. Because as you could see, when you're trying to get round the boss, you've got to try and get round him without hitting anything. Very tricky to do when you're using keys. Not easy at all. So much easier with the joystick. So like I say, this game's from Chronosoft. I will put a link in the description down below. And like I said, it was £6. If you include the postage, it worked out £7. And you get a digital download. So if you have got a Spectrum, or even if you've got an emulation device, this is worth picking up. And that's all I've got to say, really. Great game, great colours, great sound, very enjoyable, and it's a game I keep going back to. And that's what you need from a game, really, isn't it? Something that drives you to want to keep going back to it. If that, in my book, if it does that, it's a good game. And it definitely does do that for me. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I'm going to leave it there. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.